Hi friends, this question is from test series 6. Subject name is operating system and the topic name is process synchronization and it is of 2 marks. Let us see the question. Two concurrent processes P1 and P2 use 3 threads, 3 shared resources R1, R2, R3 as shown below. This is the process P1 and process P2. Compute use R1, use R2, use R3. Compute use R1, use R2, use R3. Both processes are started at the same time and each resource can be accessed by only one process at a time. The following scheduling constraints exist between the access of resource by the process. P1 must complete use of R1 before P2 gets access to R1. P2 must complete use of R2 before P1 gets access to R2. P1 must complete use of R3 before P2 gets access to R3. If only binary semaphores X and Y are used to enforce the above scheduling constraints, which are initialized to 0, the code used by P1 to ensure the above constraints are: first option, R1 signal of X, weight of Y, R2 signal of X. Option B, weight of X, R1, R2 signal of Y, weight of X, R1. Option C, R1 weight of X, signal of Y, R2, R3 weight of X. Option D, none of the above. Before going to write this program, we have to know what is meant by binary semaphore. It is, there are two semaphores. We know that is counting semaphore and binary semaphore. The binary semaphore integer value can range only between 0 and 1. If you consider the binary semaphores as S1 and S2, the weight of and the value is count value as C. The weight and signal operations on these binary operations are this one. Weight of S1, C minus minus. If C is less than 0, signal of S1, weight of S2, else signal of S1. Next, signal. For the signal operation, weight of S1, C++. If C is less than or equal to 0, signal of S2, else signal of S1. So, from this one we know what is meant by binary semaphore and how to find out the weight and signal operation. Let us go to the question. In this question, first we have to know that P1 must complete use of R1 before P2 gets access to R1. So first write it here, process P1 and this is process P2. So the process P1 first gets the access of resource R1. So at this time process P2 will be in waiting state. So the wait of X. Next, after completion of R1 only, the process P2 will get R1. So process 2 will get the resource R1. Right, at this time the count value is reduced to -1 because X and Y are equals to 0 na. So 0 minus minus is -1, which is less than 0. So the operations here are signal of X and weight of Y. Second statement, see here. Here P2 must complete the use of resource R2 before P1 gets it. So the P2 will get the resource R2 and after completion of resource R2 done by P2, P1 will get the resource R2. Next, at this time same as I told in first process 1, signal of X and weight of signal of Y and weight of X. So at this time in third statement it's told that P1 must complete the resource R3 before P2 gets R3. So the process P1 gets resource R3. At this time, at this signal of X and weight of X, after that signal of X at last. After completion of this one, the process P2 will get the resource R3. So from these options we have to know the code for only process P1, right? So the option for this one, R1 signal of X, weight of Y, R2, R3 signal of X. The correct option for this question is option A, R1 signal of X, weight of Y, R2, R3 signal of X. From this question we learn what is meant by binary semaphore and how to find out the code for the given process from the semaphore. Thank you.